Look at that green, green grass. That would be me and Brandon's rye crop. That's just a cover crop for the winter, but we're gonna bale that too. Me and Brandon are under all kinds of things. Just whatever will keep us busy, keep us out of trouble. Not so much him being out of trouble, but me. Whatever keeps me busy and keeps me out of trouble, because Brandon's engaged. He's getting married. I'm not. I'm still out here throwing caution to the wind, being a single man. So I gotta do things that keep me out of trouble. But our rye crop, we got what they call cereal rye planted in there, and we've got it for a cover crop, and it's coming up really good. And we're gonna bale that here late next spring. We'll bale that, then we'll plant our Bermuda in there and get our Bermuda in the ground. Well, today it's been raining. It started raining sometime last night, and the next couple of days are supposed to be pretty rainy. But I had a few weeks ago when I was cutting down to Mount Vernon, you know, the lady I was cutting on, she messaged me yesterday, said, hey, you know, the company I sold those logs to, they hadn't got all the logs, and they were in her pasture, and she needed to turn cattle loose in there. And this is normally not the type of thing, I mean, I don't like doing it, I really don't, because to me, the company that bought the logs, they need to be a little better about getting on things. But I try to do whatever I can to keep my clients happy. So we've got the skid steer loaded up. I've just got the forks on. That's all I've got. No bucket, no grapple, just the skid steer with the forks. And we're going to go down there and move those logs out of her pasture. That way she can turn those cattle in there and lock the gates. And that way they can get those logs whenever they're going to get them, which they should have already got them. But we'll at least get them logs out of there where she can run her cattle in that pasture and not have to worry about those log trucks and keep everything locked up. Not only that, I need to go with Dad to haul the rest of those logs in. He went over there yesterday afternoon and hauled some more of them in, and he's saying we don't need the skid steer to bunch the rest of them, but man, I think it'd be easier if we had it. I like working smarter, not necessarily always working harder. But so we've, like I said, if it rains, it's going to kind of put a damper on a lot of things this week, whatever the rain decides to do. I was hoping our next job would be over here towards Humansville, not too far from where we just finished up, but I would say this weekend or later this week, I'll be moving equipment up to Holden, Missouri. I've got a job up there I have to get cut. I've got to get it done. It's a job of walnut, so I would say that will be our next job on the list. So, and like I said, this week might get kind of screwed up a little bit with all the rain, and it's not like we don't need the rain, because I guess we do, but I'm being a logger this time of year, I hate to see much rain, because it kind of puts a damper on what we need to do, what we need to get done. So, well, let's see if we can go get some logs shuffled around, get something done anyway. I synced up with Dad. He's going to go down here and finish getting these walnut. And I'm going to cut this thing right here in front of this walnut tree, this dead top in it. I'll get it cut, and I might just unload the skid steer because I got it behind me. I'll get it cut, and I'll get it shuffled out here to where he can load it up and go. But I'm going to get over there and get it whittled down real quick. I'll throw my chaps and get my gloves on and grab a saw, and we'll get it knocked down. Well, we got it on the ground anyway. This old tree wasn't in good health. It should have been cut a while back. I could tell when I was boring into it, it was bad. Of course, you hit that stuff there, you know things are going to be bad, which it was a double tree. A lot of that stuff in there. It's still got a lot of lumber in it. You can kind of see what the stump looked like here. It was starting to really go downhill. I'm just glad we could do a salvage on it when we could. Now, these doubles, it's not that they're tricky to cut, I don't think. I mean, sometimes you can get one depending on how the prongs of the doubles lean, but this one was prominently going one way. So what I did, like I said, I bore cut all my walnut, as you can see. But what I did before I fell the tree, before I clipped the ears, I actually took the saw and I cut into it on each side of the crotch there. That way when it hit, it just made a clean busted it right in two there, popped it. That way I don't have to worry about trying to saw it in two. When it's on the ground, it's just a lot simpler that way. Of course, then you can see here I've come up and cleaned the limbs up. I've sawed my limbs flush with the tree. Where you look, it gives the appearance of clean logs, which it's not that they're bad logs, but they're just lumber. I mean, if these were still green, had this have been, sorry, glove there, had this been a couple of years ago when we cut this, we could have veneered this one side here for sure. So it's got a really good clean piece. It'd have been a low grade veneer. But a lot of that also comes down to shaving your log there, shaving it flush. Shaving it flush like that, you really can't even tell there was a limb there, other than you can see it right there. But once this is on the yard, these will blend in good with what we got on the yard. And this is the one tree Dad bought standing off all the cut logs, which they've got several trees here that could really be cut. Like I said, they were a lot better than what they did have cut. So what I don't understand, the ones that are left standing, and they're all out here in the open. I don't know how with a tractor they ever got some of these out, which, I mean, I know how they got them out. It's just slow going. I've been there. I've done that before. Trust me. We've logged with a tractor a few times before we had small skidders and a skid steer to take places. Dad used to have an old tractor we'd take to log little jobs back when we just had one or two skidders that were, when it was just too big to take a skidder someplace, or the job was too small, or the skidder was too big, should I say. No, this tree did all right. I mean, and I told Dad when I was cutting into it, I said, you know, it's hollow, and really it cut better than I thought it would. I expected the tree to cut a lot worse. Because, I mean, when I first punched him with the saw to board, I mean, I didn't get more than a few inches in, and it felt like it just was nothing there. But I'm surprised at how good it cut. Like I said, that's from sawing the top of the crotch there, and the way it hit, the force busted it in two cleanly just by sawing enough into it. You don't have to saw all the way down it, but just saw enough into it to where the force will go ahead and take it the rest of the way out without doing damage to it. Good lumber logs, that's all they are, just good lumber. So Dad will just pull right up alongside them here in the Mac, and he'll load them on the truck, and we'll go. And we're still waiting to hear back if we're going to get the rest of these standing trees bought. I think Dad said he tried to buy 30 standing trees. So I don't know. I hope we get them bought, because I always like these jobs close to home. But man, it's tricky sometimes. Timber's hard to buy. You know it is. I sold logs yesterday, and I was talking with the buyer, and you know, it's just, timber is hard to buy. It's getting harder all the time to buy. I mean, luckily that we're extremely, extremely competitive in what we do, and we've got the tools and the equipment to get a job done fast, so it allows us to be more competitive in buying timber, and luckily we're able to stay busy. But you know, timber's hard to buy. Getting harder all the time. So we'll wait for Dad to get out of here with the Mac, and we'll tail in right behind him once he gets loaded. It should be a full load for him. Then we're going to head down to Mount Vernon and get those logs moved out of that field. That way that lady can turn her cows loose in that pasture. All right, let's get unloaded here and move some logs. I'm just going to, like I said earlier, she's wanting to turn her cattle in there. It's totally understandable, but I'm just going to, through that gate, I think we'll just pile these logs right here. It's off the road enough that I think it'll deter anyone from trying to steal them. And if you think log theft isn't real, think again, because it happens. Cattle theft is real bad down here in Lawrence County, Missouri. And I can't help but think if someone would steal cattle, they would probably steal logs as well. So my thought is, of course, you got to loop around. That gate there is shut, but you got to loop around to get in through here. So I think if we put them back here, it'll be far enough off the road. It should deter anyone from wanting to take them or get in here and take them. So we'll jump in here. I don't even know what's left. Hopefully it's not just 4 or 5 logs, which even if it is, that's part of the job, man. That's part of the reason I bought this machine here, was because some of these log companies, we often sell logs on a job site. I mean, it's just how we operate sometimes. It leaves everything out in the open. Well, sometimes these companies, they take forever to get logs, or, you know, they get a load of logs and don't come back to get the rest of them. So And landowners don't want that out there. They don't want it, killing their grass, taking up space in their pasture. So, and it was, of course, they never go after the log company that buys the logs. They go after the logger, me, that cut the logs. So we're going to take the cat here and move him out, get them out here where they're not bothering anything. And like I said, that was one of the big reasons I bought this machine too, is just, it allows me to offer my clients just something a little more, something that's just another way we can take care of them. And, when my clients are happy with my work and the job I'm doing, it makes me think I'm doing something right. And it helps me get more work, and just makes people think I'm just a better logger, because we can offer more things, which I like to think we are, just because all the services we can offer and everything we can do. So let's jump in the cat here, fall into this thing, kick the armrest down, key on, we have contact. All right, man, let's jump off, unload this thing, let's go pile some logs. Well, not too many logs. They got them about all cleaned up. Just a partial load. We'll make sure, go up here, make sure everything's gone. That's out of the row here. I mean, if you guys that watch my videos regularly, I'm sure you remember this view of the farm. To me, this is just a beautiful view overlooking that whole farm down through there. That's just awesome. Awesome view. We'll start shuffling these things up though. Shouldn't take us too long. Longer to drive down here and back by far than it'll take us to move these logs out. So let's see if we can get them done. Now, one trick I use here when I'm moving logs is, it's hard to, we'll try to do it one-handed. We'll take this guy right here, and what we're gonna do is we'll put him up there, and we'll kind of stack these like a pyramid or a triangle. And that way I can at least grab 3 logs every time I go in to get logs. And it just kind of speeds the process up, because all I'm doing, I'm not trying to lay them out. I'm simply just trying to get these logs from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So there we go. It's just a better way to grab 3 logs at one time. Back up here. And sometimes you can grab 4. Like I said, it's hard to maneuver everything like I need it to when I'm trying to run the camera. This is why I really need my GoPro back up and running. But that's just a good way to grab 3 logs at once. It's quicker than trying to fork them and try to fit 3 on the forks. Or this way, if you can grab 2 big logs, put a smaller one on top, or vice versa. There's just a lot of different scenarios there, what you can do to get those logs. And I found this one here always works good for me. Well, let's get these taken care of. 13 pieces. 13 pieces. A couple like one with the lot number there, that's a pretty good chunk of wood. These, like I said, if you watch the channel regularly, you probably can look back and you might remember the set of logs down here. They were good, clean logs. Of course, this whole chunk here, it's just a big rough log. See, kind of had some issues there, but it's a good set of logs, man. It's a set of logs. That in there's got some worm in it, but that's okay. And really, these things are bought, sold, so they are what they are now. But like I said, it's nice to have that machine to be able to come down here and help my clients out, because she was wanting to turn her cattle loose in that pasture there and keep all the gates locked. Well, if they got the gates locked, naturally the trucks can't get in to get the logs. So it's just nice. It's a great feeling to be able to do that and offer that service and go the extra mile for our clients. That was a big reason for the skid steer. So that's I guess that's got us about all done for today. It's still kind of dreary and misting. I think we're supposed to get more rain tonight. It might be a slow week. Which I hate not being able to cut timber, but at the same time, it's not hard to get behind on looking at jobs of timber, which I've got several jobs I got to get looked at. And I actually booked an appointment last night for Sunday afternoon. that's just how busy we are. And at the same time, that's what worked best for the client. It was Sunday afternoon, so I always try to oblige my clients. Whatever works best for them, I'll try to meet the needs, or come through for them, whatever we can do to make things work. So we'll get this thing loaded up, head back home. So we got about a 40-mile drive home. Like I said, it was longer to get down here and back for sure, and what it did take to do the job, but that's okay. We'll get loaded up on the pintle hitch there, get chained down. I'm running pretty light. I didn't bring the bucket or the grapple, which it's surprising how much weight that XHD bucket and grapple, how much extra weight it is on the truck and trailer. It's a noticeable difference just running with the machine and a set of forks. I mean, a noticeable difference. It sure pulls a lot better down the road not having that weight. Of course, I put those attachments towards the front of the trailer, so it does add extra weight to the tongue and the back of the truck, which that also affects how the load pulls down the road. So we'll get loaded up. We'll get out of here. Head home. It's about lunchtime. That's it today. That's all we got on the books for today, unless something magical comes up, which never know. I'm gonna go home. The girls are inside, sleeping on the couch. I'm gonna go home and let them out. And I'm gonna go see if there's a game of pitch. I kind of like to hit the pitch table today, play a little pitch. So it's the next couple of days might just be pitch days. I don't know the way this weather's looking, but like I said, we do have timber to look at, so I need to get caught up on that as well. So always something to do, always something going on, always something to do. Guys, thanks a lot as always for hanging out with us again today. You never know what we're going to be up to. Each day is different. Probably be moving equipment. I was hoping to move one day this week, but it will be one day this week, maybe closer towards the weekend. I don't know. It's kind of day by day right now. When the weather gets kind of dreary like this and raining, it is. Operations are just day to day. We just we see what we're able to do each day, because depending on how hard it's raining, how much it's rained, where we got to go, where we got to work, what the ground conditions are, a lot of factors involved there. But I'm glad we got to do something today. Got to haul logs, got to cut a tree. I started having withdrawals if I go too long without running that chainsaw cutting a tree. So kind of fed my habit for a little bit. So hopefully we'll be back to sawing some trees down here real quick, because I don't like sitting around at all. But like I said, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Check us out on all our social media outlets: Turner Logging LLC, Instagram and Facebook. Check out Timber Tracker, the free app to download. Check out the social media outlets for that on Instagram and Facebook at Timber Tracker. Then you got Logger Threads, magical, high quality, American made, super comfortable, fine, pimpin' apparel logger threads. It's really not even work apparel. It's more like I'm going out on the town apparel. Well, at least it is for me, because I really don't ever go out on the town. So Logger Threads apparel is about as fancy as I get outside my work attire. But check that stuff out. Hopefully by the end of this week, the website will be live where we can do all the ordering from the website, because I know the Facebook shop has been nothing but a hassle. So the website will make things so much easier for everybody ordering stuff. Check all that out. We got good reviews on everything. Everybody's been really happy with the shirts they've ordered. The material's super comfortable. Like I said, if it wasn't good, I wouldn't put my name on it. So I'm a sucker for good fitting, feeling shirts. So check all that out, guys. I'm gonna go get something to eat, let the girls out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Whatever we decide to do, we'll do something tomorrow. We'll film something. Right or wrong, we're going to film something tomorrow. Guys, have a great Tuesday?